everyone, my name is adzkia humairoh, and in this video, I will give you a review of employment contract between William Smith and Illinois Water American Co. This employment contract is an employment agreement between William Smith as the employer and Illinois Water American Co. as the employee, and this contract is valid as of 3rd of May 2019. Now we come to the content of this employment contract. The first part regarding employment. William Smith as the employer hereby employs Illinois Water American Co. as a marketing manager, with Illinois Water American Co. agreeing the contract lasts for a period of 3 years, starting from 3rd of May 2019, for the time and date of termination of employment in accordance with the employment termination agreement that has been stated. Next, in the second part, the contract states about performance of duties. Illinois Water American Co. as the employee must carry out all of his work and not include tasks that are outside the scope of his work. Then, William Smith as the employer provides appropriate rights and also for changes regarding salaries, responsibilities, promotion, back to the policies made by him. The next part is about duties and responsibilities. This section is discussed about employee duties that is specifically described. The general details of the Illinois Water American Co. duties as a marketing manager is about to manage, develop, coordinate, and evaluate the company's marketing sector. He must also establish communication ties to the advertising manager regarding marketing plan. Furthermore, regarding the worker's salary, according to the agreement made, he will receive a monthly salary of $2,500 with evaluation if necessary. Salaries are given twice a month, first at the beginning of the month and second on the 15th of each month. Worker also receive benefits in accordance with the position held. Next is the section regarding confidentiality and unauthorized disclosure. Workers are obliged to maintain confidentiality regarding to the company, whether lacking anything such as documentation, information, or knowledge to other individuals or company related to their field of work, from which the worker can gain benefits for himself. And about the part of unauthorized disclosure, during or after termination, the employee must not disclose any information that is confidential, or the employee violates the agreement that has been made, and the employer has the right to take legal action if it's felt that this caused harm. Next, this section informs that if the employee violates agreement that mentioned in the previous section, the employee must immediately terminate of employment contract and complete all payments. Furthermore, about amendment of agreement, regarding to the changes of contract, there must be approval by both of parties and must include the date of the contract change was made. Next, we come to the part of termination of agreement. This term will be determined if one of the following occurs. Number 1, the date of termination of employment is at the discretion of the employee or employer. Number 2, after the employee dies. Number 3, the cause include a serious violation by employee, material harm, intentional violation, or death of employees. And number 4, if the employee or employer choose to terminate the employment relationship or employment agreement, the party wishing to terminate is required to provide written notice of at least 5 days from the employer and 7 days from the employee. Next is about notice. Any notification required or permitted must be made in writing by sending it by post to the party concerned. Next is the part of compliance with employer rules. This means that employees have agreed to comply with all company regulation in accordance with its policies. Next, this section contains the return of property company when the contract ends or after termination of employment. The property is in the form of number 1, K or K card for entry, 2, company car, 3, corporate identity, 4, computer, 5, company credit card, and the last is employer-related documents. Next, about non-assignment. All interests relating to employees are based on this agreement is not subject to any demands from its creditors and cannot be transferred or encumbered. The employer is owner of all social media accounts obtained before, during, or after the employee's employment. Next, within the course of the employee's employment with the employer, whether while performing normal duties or other assigned duties, if employee creates any intellectual property, including any potentially copyrightable work, the employee must immediately notify the employer. Furthermore, the employee agrees that all such intellectual property and rights are the property of the employer. Next part about successor. The content of this agreement are legally binding on the employer, and its successor or the recipient of its right by any individual or company that acquires. The section explained that this agreement between the employee and employer are complete and comprehensive. There is nothing else, either written or verbal, outside of this agreement. If any part of this agreement is found to be invalid, whether in whole or in a part, this will apply only to that specific provision. The employee confirms and acknowledges having received a copy of this agreement, which has been signed by both by the employee or employer. The provision outlined in this agreement must be understood and applied in accordance with applicable law. And finally, this agreement has been signed by the employee, and as of 6 March of 2019, it has become an official deed on behalf of the employee and employer. So, that's all review of employment contract from me. Forgive me if I have a mistake in my words. Thank you and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.